Kia ora, we have our first ever Sharpen Up guest, Braxton Sorensen-McGee, joining us, 18 years old, just won the Super Rugby Aupiki final with the Blues wahine. She scored a 75-metre intercept runaway try, a highlights reel some can only dream of, probably some of us here, actually. Mihi ana kia koe, thank you for joining us. Congratulations. How does it feel to be a Super Rugby Aupiki champion?
It's really good. It's my first year, so it's honestly amazing and just reminds me of when we won our Whanau Cup.
What was that like in the moments when you realised that you guys had won? Because, I mean, it was a tough first 20 minutes. You're only up by 2 points with 10 minutes left to go. And then you get that intercept. You go 75 metres down the field. What was that like when you got that intercept? And I tell you what, there are a few Matatu players who were trying to take you down, but you managed to score the try.
I was just telling myself, run, don't stop, keep running. And then she obviously got her hand on me, and then I looked to see if anyone was there.
Yeah. As you're doing that long run, I did see one of your backs coaches, Carlos Spencer, really digging you home and pushing for you to get over that try line. What's it been like being coached by someone like Carlos Spencer, the king?
It's been good. He has heaps of knowledge, and everyone just tries to pick his brains because he has obviously one of the best knowledges I've heard or seen in a while. So it's pretty good to be coached by him.
Mean. And what about the celebrations? How's the celebrations been?
It was good. We all went to Morningside Tavern, which was good. It was loud. Everyone was drinking. Everyone was up dancing. I've never seen some people dance before, and saw it there, which I never want to see again. But yeah,
and
it was
back
good.
to back, Back to back. I know our major sponsor, Groove Bar, held a function for the girls last year when they won it, and what's that been like, being a part of like a winning culture and the pressure of going into this season?
It was really good. Everyone was really welcoming to obviously me because this was my first year, so it was really good. They were kind of felt like a family. Instantly, everyone was easy to talk to, and yeah, they didn't really make it hard to get along with them.
Mean.
Braxton, what was it like having someone like Portia, who's been away for a bit, but also come back and put her hand up to jam the 15 side again? How was that playing with the legend of the game in the wahine space?
Portia's great. She's just amazing. She really helped me a lot in my journey, obviously. Being a rookie, being young, obviously she's more experienced than I am, so she helped me a lot to get through the season. And first thing she said to me was, I didn't know you were 18. You're way more mature than that. So it's pretty crack up to hear that from her.
Well, that's what I keep thinking too. Every time I'm doing my research on you, I have to keep reminding myself that you are only 18 years old because we've been watching you for the last couple years, Farah Palmer Cup. You've accomplished so much at such a young age. You grew up out in Howick, playing for the Howick Hornets.
Up the
Hornets. So what was that like for you growing up out there and then to make it to where you are now? Because you have said one of your goals is to be a triple international, Black Ferns, Black Ferns Sevens, and then the Kiwi Ferns as well.
It's been really good growing up over there because I had my brother with me, and he taught me most of what I know now, which is good. And he's over playing in France, which I'm happy for him. But he comes back in May, and then he goes over to Aussie to play. So just learning off him, he was really inspiring to me.
And when you were playing for the Hornets, you played with a lot of the Tama teams, the boy teams, because there wasn't really opportunity for you. But then you just said that you loved it and you thrived playing there.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to play with the boys.
Heard that?
They were hard, but I just put my head down, kept myself grounded, and then just kept playing and won tackler of the day and player of the day a couple times, which was really good.
And you only started playing rugby when you were in high school, is that right?
Yeah, rugby in high school and then league ever since I was 7.
So then how did you go from playing league and get converted to then play rugby?
It was definitely my high school. My coach Lay for my high school team
At Auckland Girls Grammar?
Yeah,
Yep.
he pushed me to play rugby, and then I played my first ever Farah Palmer Cup. That was my first rep team that I ever made in rugby.
Wow.
And the girls from there, like KV, Ruahe, Sylvia, and all of them, they really pushed me to pick rugby over league. So, because I just liked the environment, I liked them, and they just made it so easy to pick rugby over league.
Mean.
Geez, Courts, hey, that sounds pretty similar to someone that's in this podcast, eh? Just played league all his
Jordan.
life, and then bye.
Are you there, Jordan?
What's the mindset this week? I mean, it's one thing winning the Aupiki against all our New Zealand teams, but now you get a chance to play against the top Australian team this week. Like, how do you think the girls will prep for that?
I think they'll prep the same as from the final. Just treat it as another game and just be ourselves, be us, and just play like us.
How are the bodies feeling? Because it is quite a short turnaround, having played just on the weekend and then you're going to play Thursday night this week.
Sore, but definitely sore. But we had a good training this today, and hopefully the girls who were drinking recovered, because they probably would have only stopped yesterday. So hopefully they recovered by now, but I think they would have.
I'm sure some people have experience with that, and you can back up, can't you? Anyone? Jordan, Uppy?
Yeah, I think, no, we won't discuss that. Yeah, but I do have a part. I did watch the game, the highlights of there was a few moments there, and I just want to take you back, and I also want to ask everybody, there was a moment there, and I think it was the first try for Matatu, and you missed that tackle, and they scored the try, but I just wanted to ask, what do you do to keep your mindset back on the game and not sort of dwell as a young player? It's easy just to feel down. What are some of the tools that you use just to get back next job, and then you go and have big moments like that and winning the winning try?
For me, I just obviously acknowledge that it was my fault and that I need to be better. So then after that, I just focused it on the next job, my next role, what is next to come, and focus on that more than what I need to work on.
Mean. What about you, Piri? What did you do, bro, to get your...
Pretty lucky that we had a good psychologist or head doctor for us in Gilbert and Noka, and so our focus is exactly what Braxton said. Like we always try to work on focusing on the next job. Like sometimes you might throw a stink pass or miss a tackle, knock the ball on and stuff like that, but the process after that is to try and make sure that you focus on the next job. So that's what we always try to do.
Mean. Jordan?
Oh, bro, you know me, because I'm a 10-minute man. So, every half that I'm on for 10 minutes, because I make it worth it. I'm doing everything, tackles, line breaks, I'm even kicking. And I'm trying my best to get a sin bin as well, so I can stay off the game a bit longer as well. But Braxton, I saw there was a tackle that you did where you actually drove someone, I don't know, it felt like 10 or so meters, got them out of bounds, you got the ball back, and then I seen you do a right-hand flick pass to Portia, and I'm like, who the heck does this young girl think she is? But I don't know, 18 years old, like aura level 100. It's like incredible to see someone such as yourself. So I'm just going to give you your flowers while we're on the show, because you're incredible. It was awesome to watch and up the Blues.
Thank you.
Well, that was one of my pastime. What were we all doing when we were 18 years old? Pity, I'll start with you.
What were you up to, Pity? What was Pity Webb's up to?
I was actually chasing the oval ball, but it was the league one, not the rugby one. That's what I was up to, trying to do anything possible to crack it, really. there was a few hiccups in the process around a few injuries that happened at club. But 18, I was trying to drive to get the goal, which is to play league first and foremost. But I was just fortunate enough that I got an opportunity in rugby. So that's what I was doing at 18, chasing the oval-shaped ball.
Gee, I was being a dad. I was chasing the oval pie and the round pie and the square pie. But no, I don't know what you feel. I was being a dad. I was being a hotatu out there. What about you fellas?
Yeah, I was 18. I was living in Newcastle, and I was training with the 20s side. So I trained in the morning, and then I was actually working at a car wash. So that was my money every day, washing cars, car details. So I was, washing cars, hundreds of cars every day, wondering what I'm going to get up to. And I remember one day, I was lucky enough, I was training well in the 20s, and the first grade coach said, you can come and train with first grade tomorrow morning. So I had to call my boss at the car wash and say, oh bro, I'm going to be a bit late tomorrow. Can I go and train with first grade? And got one of the players to drop me off after training. But yeah, I was just chasing a dream at 18 in Newcastle.
Yeah, I was the same in New South Wales, Sydney, chasing the dream, trying to make it professional for the Swifts. Yeah, so...
That's me. Can I change mine? I was chasing the dream as well.
What dream was that?
What was dream?
You fellas.
You spoke about your brother earlier, Braxton, but how much of a role has your whanau played in supporting you and helping you to get to where you are?
Oh, massive. My mum, the most out of everyone. She's my number one supporter, which is really cool to have. She drove all the way down to Wellington for my debut game. She drove to Palmy to meet my auntie, and then they all came down her whanau, and then, yeah, it's been really good.
How important is that to you to know, because being so young as well, especially when you're in high school last year and having that whanau support, and Aupiki's shaking his head because it is hard to fathom how much you've done and that you were still in high school while you're achieving all of this.
It's good to know because my mum, she supports me with whatever I do, whether it's sevens, league or rugby. She supports me all the way, which is really cool to have. And my sister, she always brings my nephew to the games. It's really cool to have that too.
You spoke about seven. So what are your goals? So you played this Thursday, and then what are the goals? Because you said you want to play for the Black Ferns. Then you've got the Black Fern Sevens who will go to the LA Olympics in a couple years, and then the Kiwi Ferns as well. So if you look at it from your perspective, what are you aiming for in the short term, and then as your career progresses?
My first thing is definitely trying to make the World Cup team for the Black Ferns, and then if I don't make it, then I'll go straight down to sevens, and then have a crack at that.
Nice.
What's your favourite sport? Like,
league.
Good girl. That's what we want to hear.
Because I started at league.
What position?
Who's your favourite team? Who's your favourite team?
Oh, it has to be Penrith.
Yes, thank you.
Stink answer, but it's true.
That's my girl.
5 losses in a row.
No worries,
4 premierships in a row. Hey, Brax. 4 premierships in a row.
They're just trying to play catch up. That's all courts.
And so you come from a real league whanau. So what position did you?
I started at half, and then from rugby, I like going to fullback sometimes because I like the running style from fullback. But my coaches prefer me at half.
Man. And did you grow up like playing at Howwick, and did you go to all the Māori tournaments and stuff like that?
I did. I played for counties.
Counties, yeah. And what was that like? Because me and Pity are coaches, trying to recruit.
I see what's happening here.
But how important how important were those tournaments to your development?
Oh, it was massive. It got me closer to my Māori side. Obviously, had to learn my pepeha, so got that under the belt, and I think I'm already playing for Kotahitanga.
Mean.
Yeah.
They're the champs too, Kotahitanga.
I already got the message. Oh, tell your coaches that you're busy for this
year's tournament. Jordan, you had some
Sure.
of your quick fire questions that you had for Braxton.
Toy.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to obviously you've talked about your brother, you've talked about your whanau support, but what other Māori heroes have you got?
Oh, I'm honestly plastic, so I'm not. Yeah. Not probably my sister, because she's the most Māori person I know, I'd say.
How many of you? How many siblings?
I have 2 older sisters, 1 older brother, and then 1 younger sister.
Oh, it's quite a big whānau. True. So your sister, eh?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what
definitely.
is she? What tūmahi? What is she?
She works at Waikato University.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not too sure what she does, but I think she's trying to get into the filming side.
Nice. So were just you and your brother the athletes in your whānau? Or did everyone
Yeah,
play sports and then it's just worked out that it's you and your brother that have pursued it?
Nah, definitely me and my brother. The other 2 are Uncle Az. But my sister does do CrossFit. She's pretty good at CrossFit.
Yeah.
She's pretty strong. But my other sister, she's Uncle. She did play league though for a couple of years and she was good at that. But I think she just moved to Aussie and stayed there.
Nice.
So, has there ever been a family run it straight challenge then?
Oh, with my cousins, yes. Oh, I have my cousin, he's a little white dude. Thinks he's the man, goes to Hamilton Boys, thinks he's the man.
What's his name?
Dylan? Nah, his name's Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan, he always goes, oh yeah, my school, Hamilton Boys, can beat your school in a race or beat you in rugby. And then my mum just gives him like so much about it. Like,
That
Yeah, I
reminds
wanted
me of you, Jordan.
What's that?
Just challenging.
Oh, I never want to shy away from a wero. But I had another partai for Braxton because I was a bit of a home and away fan, and one of my favourite characters was one of the bros from the River Boys, and his name was Braxton as well. So I'm wondering, is Mum a home and away fan, or where does your name come from?
yeah, she was. I think my name got. My sister picked my name. She was gonna name me America too, but I was like, oh, because her name's Dakota and my other sister's name's Montana, so she thought America. Yeah, she thought America was the best name, and my mum said no straight away.
So you went with Braxton.
Yeah, my mum liked the name, so I'm not sure if it's from the show though, but she did watch it.
That's a partai you can ask your mum
Yeah,
later.
I will.
While we're on
sorry.
the rugby, while we're talking about rugby, we're going to look at Super Rugby Pity. Do I bring it up? I say this every week.
Bring it up. Bring it
Your
up.
Hurricanes, they lost to the Crusaders, but Uppy, your Chiefs lost to the Tars.
Nah, we were resting players this week.
It wasn't a great week, was it, Pity?
Nah, it wasn't. To be fair, it was actually a pretty mean game. The Crusaders actually done their homework on the Canes boys, and they didn't have a plan B. Now, you would have thought that with 13 players on the field, you would have moved the ball a bit more, but they decided to run it straight and get the ball turned over a few times when they shouldn't have. But yeah, their tactics weren't the greatest, especially in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game where they needed to use their tactics a bit better, move the ball a bit more, tire them out a bit more, and wait for those opportunities. And yeah, they were a bit slow at recognising that. But I can't speak, highly about the Tars doing the job over the mana, the Bros team against the Chiefs mana. But they were plagued a bit by like the Hurricanes, just errors that you don't really see in their game, and it just creeped in quite a bit.
It's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's the halfway point of the season, and I have some of these teams peaked too early. Do you think, Pity? Like I've seen Hoskins post saying they're going to peak at the right time, and they're coming. So is that a big thing in professional sport, do you reckon, peaking at the right time?
Yeah, well, I think some teams now are trying to manage their players a bit more, make sure that their minutes aren't too long, so that can actually last the whole season. But I mean, when you look at it, they're only playing what is it, 18 rounds. But they're playing each other over and over. Whereas if you had the likes of the South African teams back in the competition, you know, I felt like that whole competition was physical, tough, and quite draining on everyone. But I mean, in terms of the length of the whole competition, I think it was perfect. I feel like this is dragging out probably a little bit too long. I mean, they have 3, maybe 4 preseason games. On top of that, they get together in November and December, and then rejoin together in January. So, you can only thrash them for so long, and then it starts taking a toll. It's like they've had a whole season before they've actually got to the first round. So, yeah, it does sort of take a toll. I know the Highlanders have always been like that. They come out all guns blazing at the start of the season and burn out because they've just been, in the past, they've just been getting absolutely thrashed. And then when they finally got their title, they actually done it right. Jamie got it right. So I think, that some teams are trying to figure it all out with the new format of the game and the draw. And what I do enjoy, though, with this competition is the fact that there's a lot of local derbies. And with all the local derbies, there's always talking points. So the next time the Chiefs come here, hopefully the boys get up and give them a...
We'll be there, bro.
Which team?
I hope you wear your jersey too, Phil.
I will.
Which Super Rugby team did you support growing up?
Oh, I didn't really watch rugby. I more watched league.
League.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll go on to league then, eh? Shall we shift? And can I say, what is wrong with the Waz? Because they got an absolute hiding on the weekend. Half-time at 36-0. I was actually watched the start of the game, and I quickly flicked over to the UFC. Volk, he won the championship belt, became a 2-time champion. By the time I flicked back, it's 36-0. And I was like, what on earth happened? Does anyone have any answers? Uppy?
We won the second half.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
I don't know. I just seen that score and I was like, holy hecker, this is going to be like a 60-0. But it was good that they had the fight because it's easy in those scenarios just to be like, we're not going to win, but it was good to see that attitude. Jerome Hughes did go off at halftime.
I didn't want to bring that up. He did go off, and towards the end of the game, the Storms just started taking their players off the field.
But yeah, I'll throw this over to Jordan. I think he has the answer for the Waz.
Dude.
I feel like the Warriors are the Storm's bogey team, right? And so the Storm, I reckon, this season have made an effort to actually do some real deep homework on making sure the Warriors don't make this hiccup for them. Because it felt like, usually the Warriors are doing real well against the Storm, even at home. But I feel like there was something in it this time around. But like Uppy said, the second half we came through. And there's some other factors like, arguably the best player in the world going off the field. But shout outs to this. And it's the Storm. You know what I mean? Like, we got to remember, this is the Storm. So, on to next week.
Everyone keeps saying they're the bogey team, but we haven't beaten them in like 9 years. 17 games in a row.
Oh,
well, how about this?
You tell us,
Here we go.
No. Have you ever been in a scenario like that yourselves? And what have you tried to do as a team to get yourself out of that rut during the game?
Sometimes, when you work harder and it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is just horrible, and there's actually nothing. The harder you try, there's nothing you can do. And then it's just, I think what we spoke about earlier with Braxton, it's almost just going back to your processes. Like with netball, all right, let's just get this centre pass away. Let's go to a set play. Let's just score our goal and give our defence time to set up. But when it's all happening and the stadium's loud and the coach is yelling, sometimes it's just difficult for things to go to plan.
So, like, with some of the teams that I have been involved in, I've been in a few teams where everything was going wrong, and what we have found in the past is that it's actually up to the leaders to take over. Like that's the hardest part. Is like one thing that it's happening while you're playing, but it's actually trying to understand during the game that these things are happening. So World Cup, for example, like we talked about like momentum shifts, and obviously if momentum shifts are all in favour of the opposition, how do we get that back into our favour to allow us to start functioning as a team? And as the leaders of our team, it's not just the leaders off the field, it's actually the ones that drive our game as well, in terms of managing how we can overcome this onslaught of attack from the opposition. But like key things for us was, you know, like you said, Courts, is go back to basics. For us, it was a good strong carry off a set piece, forwards getting around the corner, get over the advantage line, good carry, get us go to the edge, get our line set, put a bomb up, put a chase, get a force an error, and then start again, and just continue that until the momentum gets back into your favour to allow you boys, like your team, to feel more and more confident. Like I found doing that with the ABs, that was one of the turning points for us, was having the knowledge that stuff like that was actually happening to us, and how we could actually fix it on the fly without going to the sideline at halftime and getting a rocket up our ass from the coaches, and then trying, like you said, trying harder only to make it worse. So I like one of the things for us was that our leaders actually getting together, understanding what's going on, and trying to lead us out of this rut, which is probably something that they might need to look at and understand themselves, as not just the coaches, but I guess the players as well.
Yeah, that's something that Mitch Barnett said. He said, we can't wait till we get into half time to then hear from the coaches about what we need to change. And Braxton, I want to ask you, because at the game on the weekend, in the first 17 minutes, you guys give away 8 penalties. You're down 12-0 with 20 minutes into the game. What was the key messaging out there in the game, and what were the leaders saying to the team for you guys to turn it around? At halftime, it's 12-10.
What our coaches said was actually trying to keep our depth and obviously be like disciplined. Like we needed that a lot more than what we were trying to give it, you know. So main messages was to have discipline. Obviously leave the 9 alone, because we kept touching the 9. It was like, don't give away silly penalties. Yeah. And just when we get the ball in hand, just let it rip.
Yeah. I got a partai for everybody. Like in those situations, like we've all been part of teams. I don't know if you have, Brax, you're a bit of a superstar. But when you're getting absolutely pumped, and like the different characters in the team, you know, like you got that one character that always turns to violence. So he gets yellow carded. Me makes the situation worse. And then you get those ones that are just quiet, go into their shell, like giving nothing. And, you know, so you got like a mix. Like I've heard some people coming on, like trainers swearing, like and saying all sorts of, you know, raising the energy, the ngao in the team. Like sometimes you need that, like, you know, but I'm more of a, you know, try and get in the blue. Like we got that quarter, you know, when you're in the red, try and get back into the blue, into a calm state, and trying to lead and find a better solution in those shit circumstances. So what did some of your leaders, what were their styles, bro? What was the style that worked for you, Pity, in the All Blacks setup?
Oh. The GOAT pretty much led by actions, bro. Richie, his weren't so much words, it was actions, bro, and he was mean in terms of his leadership around that. I've had a few others in my time, and they speak a bit, but sometimes like it's not quite the same, because sometimes they might be
they're all cucks, eh? Walk the talk, bro.
You don't believe them, eh?
There's another one. Those times they follow me. We go, you're cucks out. Not following you.
Pretty much,
there's heaps of those ones too. Surely
So,
some.
yeah, well, Richie's the best one, bro. Like, he just led by his actions, and the boys pretty much just followed. And like the stuff that he would do when he used to steal ball from breakdowns and stuff like that was like, you just look at him and think, what the hell where did you get that idea to pick the ball from there, bro? You look like you were offside and stuff like that, but like just his knowledge around the game and understand, like, he anticipates things way before it even happens. And like, as a leader, man, to have that is special.
Then you also have those players that you need to pump up. They need, because you can do it within, some players can do it within themselves, but the others, you can see they're down, you're like, oh, I've got to lift them and lift me and look after you. But they need it. And I think it's good if you know and understand your teammates, you know what each other requires from each other.
And that's probably like the same as, like, I remember as a young fella, like probably at 16, 17 going, I was playing in the men's division, and I had to bark at grown-ass men what to do. And I struggled with that. Like, I was like, you'd probably be the same as a young kid at, directing. And I was like, oh, my God, that's a legend there. How do I tell him what to do? What's it like for you? Like, where do you get your confidence just to tell push out right?
Oh, she's really easy to talk to. So she allows, like, that space. So, like, it's easy to tell her, like, what I need from her. Like, she will come up to me and be like, do you need anything from me, like, during the game? Or even at halftime, my wingers will come to me, do you need anything from me? And then if I need something, then I'll tell them. So it's a pretty good space to, like, be able to tell them what you need and tell them what to do, because they won't take it to heart. They'll just for the better of our team.
That's the thing, is taking it to heart. Like some players,
that
man.
might be just a male thing too.
I think it might be.
It must be a male thing, a Tane thing, hey? Didn't experience that up here, eh?
What? Nah. Like, it must be a male thing. Cause, like, sensitive egos, and then.
You don't tell me, you're a young boy.
That's
what it is.
What do you know, little boy? And then I'm like, I won't talk to you then. Get scored on, there you go, boy.
While we're sticking with the league, some news out of the weekend is Spencer Lenu and Jonathan Thurston having... I guess, do we call it a blow-up or just having a chat to each other after the weekend? I just want to know, have we experienced anything like that on the sidelines, any blow-ups, athlete to commentator, reporter, anything like that? Penny, I'll go to you.
Why are you coming to me for? I've actually had a few in my time. Not so much while playing, more so much that it's parents doing it while I coach or we coach them. So yeah, there's been a few sort of angry parents that come over and try and tell us what to do and things like that. I've had a few of those.
Stop picking your kids as captains, man.
Hey, that's you.
That's you. You're funny.
Wait till you have your time again. My son's the first 5'8", the captain, the
goal kicker.
You better teach him how to do karakia too. But yeah, parents are pretty bad on the sidelines watching their kids. It's like they got a dream, but they're living it through their tamariki sometimes.
Jordan, you're laughing. One of my part-time for you further down the show, because your dad was a talkback. What was it like having someone like that as your dad? If you don't know Braxton, when Jordan would play basketball, his dad would tell him, you suck. So you might have been the opposite to what Penny's talking about.
It was definitely difficult because the bar was set pretty high. So I'd do things like I was dunking at 14 and he'd be like, I was 13. So it was quite an interesting way to motivate your children. But I think in terms of blow-ups, like, it wasn't uncommon for me to get ejected out of basketball games. So ejected is like you get thrown out of the gym. And it wasn't uncommon for me to get thrown out. But when your dad 2 minutes later is walking out the gym because he's been ejected as well, And then now you got a father and son waiting for referees and other teams to come outside the gym so you can,
Runs in the
finish the tikanga process outside. But no, there's been a few not the greatest. But I mean, back to Spencer, because I'm part Samoan, right? Dad's Samoan, and so when you're a Samoan and an alpha like Spencer, dealing with issues and matters is kanohi ki te kanohi, and unfortunately, as a professional, there is a certain level of expected behavior and professionalism involved with that. But culturally speaking, if you're seeing someone and you've got an issue with them, you go straight to them and you sort it out by any means necessary, kei au koe te tikanga or whatever. But I kind of get where Spencer comes from, but I also know, come on, cuz, you got to put your professional hat on. But yeah, it's my whakaaro. But I also understand.
Nah,
I mean, Piri, you would have played with a few Samoan alphas in Wellington, cuz.
I mean, one that's passed away was definitely one that you didn't want to cross, because he would always had a grudge, and he would wait until his next opportunity to let rip on you. So yeah, there was definitely a few, especially in our Hurricanes team with Jerry and also Chris Marcelli. Watching those two, bro, those two actually, I've had a few punch ups at training. Those two, honestly. The other part to it is they used to argue on the rugby field as we were playing games, because they used to have a competition between him, Chris, and Rodney about tackle stats, and you would they would argue on the field that wasn't their tackle. They just grabbed a cheeky stat just so they can. Honestly, they almost had punches. Ask me about this. Me te laro will tell you. Those three packing into a scrum, having an argument about a bloody a tackle, and trying to make sure that they don't try and scab a free stat on that one. That was those alphas together, the three of them, and they could all throw hands too. Yeah.
True.
What about you, Ups?
Nah, I can't say I've experienced anything like that. Like, as I said, I'm a lover, not a hater.
Yeah. Okay, Brax, how about you? Have you experienced any blow-ups?
What about you?
Nah, not really. Not in my career that I've been on so far. Trying to think, but I don't think I have.
Early days, Gil.
Early days, and probably everyone, all the parents on the sideline just watching you, probably just clapping, going, she's going to be great. Yeah. It's unfortunate she's not on our side. That's probably what they're thinking.
So the coaches, bro, that for your parents, what are some of the examples?
Well, so we were going through a process of selection and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some of the boys don't get the opportunity, but we've already seen them, so we know where other boys have been out injured, and there's the opportunity to get a crack. So don't get as much game time as the rest of the boys. A few other things that are just
No, I know what you mean, bro. Yeah.
Just wrong, because you don't want to. I don't want to go too deep into it.
Yeah. We'll keep it safe but while we're speaking about this, then Pity, and you're talking about player selection. News this week with the Tigers is that Lockie Galvin is looking to leave the West Tigers after 2026, wants to test the open market, and now it's coming out. Do the Tigers still play him, even though they know that he's going to look elsewhere? As a coach, with your coach's hats on, if you know you've got a half who is very good, who is very young, do you still give them that opportunity, even knowing that your club is not in his future plans?
As a coach, yes, I would still play him. This has happened before, when I was playing players that are heading offshore, they end up benching and don't play them at all, which used to be dumb, because they're one of your key players. So you're there to win. And if you've got one of your best players testing the waters next year, why wouldn't you continue playing him. Like, the only thing you can do is work on the depth of players coming through, but not right now. I mean, they've been the bottom of the table for the last two years, you know, and so they're actually off the bottom at the moment, and so you want to be growing as much as you can, and to have him and his confidence to run the cutter is stupid not to have him play for the remainder of the competition. You've got to think what's best for the club and what's best for the team, and best thing is play him.
Yeah. And Braxton, I'll ask you, what's it like when you are a younger player coming through and you do get these offers from other teams, and what's it like when you have to make these decisions? Because you were offered a development contract with the Warriors Wahine. What's it like when you have to make these decisions and think about your career at such a young age?
Yeah, for me, because since I'm so young, I just want to play.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to play still. But if I took that contract, I wouldn't be able to play Wharepauma Cup, which is obviously a big step for me because that's what started my rugby career.
Yes.
So, and then after my global, I got offered a sevens contract from the Blackfern Sevens, and immediately I took that over the development contract because it's a full contract over a development contract. So, and I've been in the sevens program for maybe like a year now, and the girls are so cool there. So, why wouldn't I take that? So that's why I took that one instead of the development contract.
And when you're coming to these decisions, being so young, do you go to your mum? Who do you go and talk to about to help you make these decisions?
When I heard about the sevens contract, because I had a meeting with him, as soon as he said it, I was like, oh yeah, I want to take it. But I was with my mum at the time, and then me and my mum were talking, and she was stunned. She was like over the moon. She was like, didn't know what to say, didn't know what to think. But yeah, she was like, oh, I'll support you, whatever you do. So it was pretty easy to make the decision.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll add to that. I think back, that actually, I had the same situation. I remember when I was living in London, I had an offer come through from Toronto to go over and play in Canada. And my agent was like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say you're homesick and cancel your contract. And then you're going to sign and turn up in Canada.
Compassionate grounds.
But my puku was like, nah, that's not the right thing to do, So I was like, nah, I feel that I can be straight up with my coach and go and tell him this is the offer. And my agent told me, nah, don't do that. And I was like, nah, that's the tikanga thing to do. So I went and told him. I was like, oh, no, can I get a release? And then he said, no. And then he dropped me down to 3rd division.
Oh, no.
So, and that broke me, bro. That was just took my, my whole mana. I was like, I thought I was doing the right thing. But then I had to go and play in the amateurs league to try and get back in the team, So I think there needs to be it's important to have good advice around making decisions. And knowing, hopefully Benji does play him. I hope, he does let him play out and show his talents. Because, those decisions, it is a business at the end of the day, but it really, it was hard to rebuild from that experience.
Even on that, bro, it's a business at the end of the day, and it's all good for clubs to just, release players and whatnot. I think it should go the other way around too. When players are ready to leave their clubs, that same whakaaro should apply, and you'd think, right, the clubs would understand that this is a business. So yeah, I'm with Piri and Api on that. He should be able to play.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I guess we'll find out this weekend what's going to happen. Speaking of this weekend, the Waz got the Broncos. Just quick thoughts on this one, how this is going to go. Hey, Piri, it's Piri's team, isn't it? The Hoi Ho.
Who's Braxton going for? Waz or Broncos? What do you reckon?
Oh, Waz.
Up the Waz. Good girl, man.
Damn it.
Yeah.
But Piri, what, you reckon your Broncos get the win over here?
It won't be easy. Definitely won't be easy. I mean, they played all right on the weekend, but they just weren't able to finish it. I feel Walsh isn't the same player as he was last year or the year before. I feel like he's toned it down a bit in terms of like when they go down to those edges, like he's so readable in terms of what he does now. I feel like they need to change up his tact and utilize him a bit better rather than running him back door. Because man, I've seen him run back door the last couple of seasons. He was electric. Now I think he's a bit scared after that hit from Stadevo last year. You know, he's not the same player running that back door as a fullback. So yeah, hopefully figures it all out and changes the way that he plays on the weekend against the Wires.
Braxton, your thought on that? From your experience? I know it's different being in rugby, but I saw you nodding along. Reece Walsh, fullback.
I feel like he's toned it down a bit as well. Like, he's not the same player that he was last year. He's not as fast, and he's like readable, like you said before. So yeah, maybe just for them to change him up a bit.
And Pity mentioned when he got hit in that State of Origin game, need to know blues or maroons.
Blues.
Yes,
That's why I was nodding my head.
Pity's done.
That's why I wore the sky blue today, brothers.
Yeah, you're both in blue, actually, both of you.
No, I just want to know if there's any jerseys so we can get bucket hats made out of it. Hey, George, it's us.
Any sponsors?
Pity, just before we finish up, we'll do our sharp as moments or sharpen up moments. I feel like yours might be in the golf, Pity, unsure. The Masters.
Eh?
The sharp.
In the Masters?
Yeah. Well, no, the Masters. Yeah. We've already winning the Masters in golf on the weekend. Is that your sharp as moment?
You know what? I actually thought that he threw it in order to just show that he is the man. Like that playoff, I feel like he purposely missed that putt to go to a tiebreaker, only to drown Rose's sorrows and be like, nah, cuz I'm just playing with you. I was going to win it all along. But it was mean to see him. I think he's the sixth player to get the Grand Slam. So there's, a lot of players that have played in the PGA and gone to the Masters, and none of them have been that successful. And I think there's only like 6 players that have done the Grand Slam, which is pretty many. So he's a part of the elite group that have done a mecca job.
Yeah. Uppy, one of your sharp as moments, the Kiorahi New Zealand secondary schools?
My sharp moment will have to be Braxton's try. Seeing that run away.
I was trying to lead you into Kiorahi there.
Oh, yeah. I'll get to that. Braxton's try. But, also I was quite impressed. You'll be happy about this, but Wainui Omata won the Kiorahi Nationals. And I believe they currently hold the junior and the senior title for Kiorahi. So big mihi to the whanau in Wainui in the Grove there and around Pōneke. But there was also some, I think over 30 teams, 36 kura competed at the Kiorahi Nationals. So shout out to all our whanau and all the rangatahi that competed. A few of them came back late for our wānanga. But they all came back injury free, so looking forward to take on Pity's team in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Right. Have you played Kiorahi, cuz? Have you played Kiorahi?
Not really. Nah. Couple of times, but I'm still.
I wish. That's one thing I wish they had when I was coming through as a rangatahi, bro, because the skills that you have or you need for that is like universal. I mean, we talked about it the other week. What were the three codes that you like to pull together to pull your Kiorahi team together? But that Wainui team, they've been together for 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, since 2021.
And I've just been going hearty, and I've got there's 5 girls from my team that was part of the winning team, like Akaria, Hades, Cherish, Mahina, Waihania, and then the one that you try to poach to,
we won't name you.
But I've been involved in it for quite some time, and I've watched them play here to qualify for nationals, and it's mean to see these kids come together and enjoy it.
Braxton, have you ever played Kiorahi?
Yeah, in school actually we had a assessment on it.
Yes.
Yeah, for like I think it was year 12 and year 13 we had it.
Nice.
It was good, but some of the girls weren't keen, so it made it like not as good.
I'm,
But it was fun.
I'm sure you were great at it. Jordan, your sharp as or sharpen up moment for the week?
My beloved Taniwhare Rugby League club that I'm not playing for this year had their pre-season game against our brother club Pikiao, Ngāti Pikiao, so managed to get that dub, but also on my way to whakawhananga with them. So shout outs to the boys. I won't be coming to training. I think I need to officially hang up my boots. Keeping that dream alive, but let's be honest, it's not going to happen. But yeah, if you want to come and play for Waikato for the Māoris, just let me know, Braxton. We'll organise that contract. Talk to your whanau. We've got a few options here now, but just putting it out there for Waikato as well.
Oh, nice.
Nah, we already got it, Kel. Sorry.
He's got his contract over here ready to go. My sharp as moment would have to be the Blues Wahine winning the Super Rugby Aupiki. Braxton, for you, I'm sure it must be winning.
Yeah, it was definitely winning my first Aupiki comp and making a statement out there for women's rugby, definitely, yeah.
Yes, well, congratulations and thank you so much for being our first ever guest on Sharpen Up. We wish you all the very best this Thursday when you guys take on the Waratahs. Yes, for the Champions Final. Thank you to all our listeners, our sponsor Groove Bar. But yeah, just a big thank you to everyone, especially you, Brax. And we'll be back next week, whanau.
Maybe.
Maybe. Hey, I was going to say, have you hooked us up with a sponsor?
That's your job, bro.
We're working on it.
We're working on our sponsors at Te Whanau.
Ka ki te whanau.